this may, I don't, well, obviously, before we go on to this topic, this is no specifics or anything. We're purely talking as a generalization in this topic, but I don't know if so much if expectations or the whole social media thing has much of an impact on people not getting married at a young age. I do think now, though, it is a lot of the kind of financial burden they think is going to take over when they get married or when they get engaged. So, someone who got married young, is that kind of financial shadow, is it as terrifying as young people maybe think it is?
That's a really good question. I would say yes and no. I mean, in some way, yes. Um, when we had our wedding, so she lost her job a couple of months before the wedding, and I was working 7 days a week. So I was working at the gym at the weekends, and I was working my 9 to 5, and I was also doing this. So it was, crazy leading up to the wedding. And I was thinking to myself, "Oh, this is so expensive," and I mean, it was great, but I thought, this is so expensive. Is it really going to be worth it? And I'm not a crier. I really don't cry that much, and I didn't think I was going to cry at my wedding. I thought I'd just be joyful. And the minute I saw her, I saw the figure. I won't say what it is, but I saw the figure of how much the wedding had cost in my mind, and I started crying because I thought, I don't care. I honestly do not care. And ever since then, I haven't cared. It did not matter. The day before I got married, it was a huge problem for me. And the second I saw her, I thought, I'm fine. I really don't care. And money's always going to come back. And, but is this person, if you lose this person, are they actually going to come back? Are you really kind of, I think in a way, people almost compare that person to money and they put a financial value on them. So I think when you get married, you need to see it as a team. It certainly isn't happy wife, happy life, because that puts her in charge. And I think I don't want to go too far the other way and say that the man is the complete boss. I think that in a marriage, there does tend to be a leader and a follower. But the whole point of that follower is to help and to work as a team. So we've certainly got that. And it works pretty well. And we just have to continually work at it and say, well, this is how much we have at the moment. This is how much we've had in the past. These are certain things we can do. These are certain things we can't do. But if we sit down and make a plan and work towards something, we may have the first part of our 20s where we're quite tight, but then our late 20s and 30s and the rest of our lives could be really prosperous. So again, that kind of leads back to social media, as you said.
I love that part of your 20s might be tight, but your late 20s and your 30s might be a lot more flexible. Why is the young, we'll say young, long-term couples, why are they so quick to say money comes and goes when it comes to traveling and planning events, but they're not as quick to jump a gun when it comes to planning a wedding?
That's a very good question. I'll put on my tinfoil hat for a minute, if that's all right with you. But
No
I think
problem.
there's, I think there is a lot of conditioning around it, around people, not getting married and divorce being very high. That's definitely a thing, and I think that marriage is marriage and family in any sense. But I personally believe that marriage and family is the best defense against degeneracy. I was very blessed with my family unit. I had parents that are together, oldest of 4 kids, and there was a lot of love in our family. There was never any hate, never any violence, never any abuse. And I think that that's given me and my other siblings the skills to really tackle the problems in life. So I think that's one side of it, and you can go down a rabbit hole with that. But I think on the other side of it, travel's great, but a lot of people say, "Oh, well, we want to travel first, and we want to, we want to experience things first." And the way I see it is that my wife and I experience things together. I'm experiencing it with the person that I enjoy being with. She's experiencing it with the person that she wants to be with. To me, I almost think there's a bit of cope there because people are scared of committing. I get that it's tough, but I think if you do everything right and you look inwards before you look outwards, things tend to go a lot smoother.